Ladies and gentlemen, I am the ConflictNerd. Hello and welcome to Oort Night for February 26th, 2015. We've spent a great deal of time over these last weeks looking at and analysing images of the new textures that are coming to Oort Online, and last week we saw a glimpse of the new grass rendering that'll be coming our way as well. Well, this week we have an exclusive first look at all of that in action. What I'm going to do is show you this entire clip with some music, and then we'll take the individual elements and have a closer look. I would of course like to remind you that this is all a work in progress, but will certainly give you an idea of what you can expect from the future. And so it begins. If we take a closer look at this still image, you can get a really nice look at all of the new textures that have been getting worked on for quite some time. On top of that, you'll notice that the foliage seems to have multiple variants to it, so that'll certainly add some flavour to those wide open landscapes. Once again, here you can get a clear view of what's going on with the grass, as well as an interesting look at the terrain generation. Now here's something I'm incredibly interested in. Notice the texture fading between the dirt, grass and stone on the left of this image. It seems that the textures fade between each other to create an almost seamless transition between blocks. Granted, this doesn't seem to happen to every block, as you can clearly see it's not happening between the dirt and the darker stone in the background. Here's a closer look at some of those transitions. Again, you can see that the darker stone doesn't have any transition whatsoever. Perhaps it's a harder stone such as basalt or granite, perhaps that's just not meant to happen to this stone, or perhaps it doesn't happen yet. We can only speculate. And here is another shot of that beautiful landscape, but I want to bring your attention to the gravel on the left of this image. This appears to be another new texture which we can add to our catalogue of textures. It's ever growing. Up close, you can see just how pretty the new foliage is going to make your wide open plains look. But I'd also like to bring your attention to the small tufts of leaves out in the desert. We never actually get close to them, but I'm certain that those are dark green leaves, so I can only assume that those are cacti. Maybe the leaves are placeholder, maybe they're not. Either way, it certainly seems that more vegetation is making its way to Oort Online. There's two images here that I want to bring your attention to, and this may be nothing but me jumping to a conclusion, having some wishful thinking and all that, but take a look at this image. The terrain comes out and forms an overhang with a nice rounded edge. Now this image is what's below that. You can clearly see the shadow from the overhang and a ring of blocks from where the overhang ends. Now perhaps this is just how the generation worked, or perhaps gravity had something to do with it? As I've said, this is all speculation and everything we've looked at is a work in progress, but speculation is fun. Also, thanks to James, Ben and the folks at Wonderstruck for collaborating with me on this episode. So last week I asked you a question. If you were to rename Oort Online, what would you call it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as always, the results are in. Trotimus Gaming Corp had plenty of suggestions, such as Ares Online and Voxland, but feels that Oort Online is a fab name and hopes it stays. I have to agree. Sirlex suggested not a Minecraft clone online. I don't know, I feel like FortressCraft picked up that title years ago. Dronzin likes Oort Online, but suggested World of Oortcraft. I'm not saying I had a part in this suggestion, but I'm not denying it either. And finally, it's Alice, stuck with her answer from the survey, which was Kitten Simulator. I would be completely fine with this, especially if there was Oculus Rift support. Some wonderful answers there, folks, but of course we have a new question for this coming week. In the early development days of Minecraft, updates were regular and often filled with things that would bring players back time and time again. Since officially releasing, Minecraft has actually slowed down quite a bit. Now, as we know, Oort Online aims to launch version 1.0 towards the end of this year, so what do you think the start of 2016 will hold for the game? A previous survey asked when you would like to see certain features, and one of the options was after version 1.0, so what do you think we'll see from the game after it launches? Leave your answers in the comment section below, the more detail the better, and I'll pick out a handful to show off on next week's Oort Night. Anyway folks, that is going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. You're looking fabulous, by the way. I've been the ConflictNerd, this has been Oort Night, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.